morning. All the way here from, I'm in Livermore, California. I'm doing doing a cleanup for one of my uncle's properties. He just told me, hey, if I could come over here and give him a hand with that. So it's over here cleaning up in beautiful Livermore, California. But yeah, I haven't posted a video in a very long time. I've been like, all over the place, like I always am, mentally and physically, and I'll be all over the place, bro. But check this out. Where was I going with this? Because I hate losing my train of thought too, because I'll put this on and I start recording and I'll be like, man, I got some real heat. I got some real heat to drop today, but then I'll wind up forgetting it. But I think I got it. So it's not about, that's the thing. Here's the thing about us, right? I know you feel doubt, you feel fear, you feel like, hey, God ain't listening to me. You feel all that deep down and you're just like, damn, man. And then from that feeling, you start feeling like you're failing, right? And then you start backsliding, and then you start getting depressed, and then you start like using or doing whatever you do to cope with those feelings, right? You're not failing just because you have those feelings. Like the whole point of the spiritual thing is not to get rid of your mind. It's just to be aware of it. That's all. Being aware of your thoughts in your mind. You're here in human form, right? You're here in human form, in an animal form. You're gonna have doubts. You're gonna have fears. You're gonna have all that, and the goal is not to get rid of that. The goal is to transcend it and to know that you can make a conscious choice to be like, hey, I choose not to live in fear. I choose not to be scared of anything going on out here. I choose not, or even if you're scared, I choose to move on anyway and move forward anyway through it. That I don't have to be dictated by it. I don't have to be ran by a fear. I don't have to be ran by doubt. You could have doubt, but you just know, like, hey, that doubt isn't you. You're not the doubt and fear. You're the one who's aware of it. We're the ones who are aware of it. And that's like the evolution of the human being here, is to transcend all this, not get rid of it, but to transcend, to be like, hey, I don't have to follow these doubtful thoughts that are telling me, hey, I'm gonna fail, or I'm not good enough, or it's just imminent doom and gloom everywhere I go, like the sky's gonna fucking fall on my head. I don't have to. You could have those, and you could feel them. That's cool, man. There ain't nothing. That's not a bad thing. In a lot of instances, it could keep you alive. So I'm not telling you to just ignore it, but in a lot of instances, it's just nothing but pointless anxiety, and we don't have to follow it. We could choose to be like, yeah, I feel those feelings. I feel the anxiety. I got something stuck in my eye too. It's been stuck in my eye for like a week, bro. It's been bugging the fuck out of me, man. But we can make that conscious effort. Holy shit, look how red my eye is. But yeah, we can make a conscious effort to be like, nah, man, I don't want to follow that. Hey, I don't want to live my life in fear. I know I have these thoughts and I have these doubts about life and where I'm going, or if God's listening to me or whatever. That's fine. You're not failing because you have those. That's just part of this human experience. The thing is transcending that and being like, hey, I choose to move forward regardless, even if I feel scared, or even if I feel like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen next. You could choose to move forward. You don't have to follow any of that, right? That's the thing about being a human being. Animals can't do that. They're basically locked into the laws of instincts. They can't transcend their fear or anything like that. Go up to a deer, right? You're not gonna hurt the deer. You know that. You want to just go and just look at it kind of up close. You're not gonna hurt it. You're not even getting off an energy gonna hurt it. But the deer's instincts is gonna kick in right away and just run, right? Because it's bound. It doesn't have the ability to transcend that. It doesn't have the ability to know God, right? To know its own consciousness. It doesn't have that ability. It's ran by the laws of instincts, just strictly by the laws of nature. If it's scared, it runs. That's it. There's no thought. It's just all instinct. We have a conscious choice. If we could scope out a situation and know hey, there's no imminent danger. Of course, I'm not saying if a car coming towards you to stand there, bro. Of course not. But you could be like, hey, I'm feeling all this anxiety and doubt and fear. But you could logically look and be like, hey, I'm not in any imminent danger. This is just gonna bruise my ego or something. And then you can make a conscious choice to move forward. You don't have to follow that. You don't have to follow the programming that you got put into you from society or from your childhood, from your family or whatever. You don't gotta follow that. You can make a conscious effort, even if you feel scared or anxious, to move past that. You know, and that's a growth right there, man. You know, you can make a conscious effort, just like our drug addictions, man. Like, unless you're like addicted to alcohol, which is like, you know, the withdrawals can be deadly. I would advise if you're addicted to alcohol and you gotta do that a certain way, man. But if you're addicted to most other things, like, you could just make a conscious effort to be like, hey, I know I'm gonna go through withdrawals. Hey, I know, like, you know, I'm gonna feel probably depressed for a little while. And, you know, I'm gonna have to feel this pain. I'm gonna have to face myself again. I'm gonna have to face the parts of myself that I was trying to bury with these drugs. I'm gonna have to face it. But you can make a conscious effort to do it. You don't have to keep going. It's just, you know, you gotta go through the fire, but, you know, you'll come out purified, right? But yeah, the whole point of this video is it's like, hey, we could make a conscious choice, man, as conscious like beings.